So I'm here with Jane, who is, what are you officially?
My new title is Pilgrim Priest.
So that's when you're not on, are you a Pilgrim Priest on the island as well?
On the islands, well, yes, there's sort of crossover.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Jane. So my new role on the mainland, which I was licensed into about a week and a half ago, is called Pilgrim Priest.
Right.
And part of that is I also have some sort of care and responsibility for Bardsey Island, for Ankley, as they call it, Ankley.
Yeah.
And so this week, I happen to be here for the week as chaplain for the island. So it's sort of a bit of both roles in a way.
So by a happy coincidence, have you done chaplaincy on the island before?
No, I've never been here as
and here are 5 Baptist ministers rock up. No pressure.
No experience, and somebody dropped out of being chaplain for the island just a few weeks ago. And what they have, I keep going off track a bit here, but
that's right.
Right from when the island opens fairly much, I've got a feeling it's around March, April time, could be Easter, I'm not sure when it's routed because I haven't got the background here. They have chaplains every single week, right through until when they finally close and visitors stop coming to stay. And so every week, one chaplain heads off and the next one comes in. And so there's always a chaplain here to provide whatever they feel is the right sort of provision that suits them, works for them, that will help people when they're here. So you look after anyone that's staying here for the week. I don't know, how many houses are there? Do you know how many houses
I've lost, every time I turn a corner, I think I've found them all now. There's only one street, isn't there?
There's one street, which is quite funny. Not really a street, to be fair.
No, it's more of a track.
It's a bit of a track that's not very flat, and sometimes you have to keep going off to...
Although better than Birmingham roads.
Better than the Birmingham roads. You haven't seen the Welsh roads.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, about 8 or 9, I seem to remember reading, but whether that...
Permanent residents, is that?
No, the ones that you can rent.
Oh, right, okay.
So permanent residents, what have we got? We've got the farmers, Gareth and...
You can name them all.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Gareth and his wife.
What was it? No,
I should have remembered by now.
We'll edit one in.
Who does the most amazing meals? It has
they are
to
very
be said.
good. They're not just, you say farmers, but they do the catering, they do the lobster fishing.
The lobster fishing.
They've got, is it the sheep? It's sheep farming they do here, isn't it?
Yes.
And very good.
Run the cafe.
Sell beer
and wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm told make scones for lunchtime for the day visitors.
Right.
Whether that's every day, so I'm not making promises.
I suspect that they basically they are the centre of industry, aren't they here?
Yeah. Which is a bit how it would be, really.
Yeah.
But I think there's a few people that live on through the whole season. I don't know if there's anybody now that stays on right through the winter. The guy at the OBS, the Bird Observatory, he comes off over the winter now.
It'd be quite grim here in the winter. I'll probably talk elsewhere when I show our house, but I mean this is lovely where the chaplain stays, isn't it?
Yes.
But even here, there's a gas heater just there. There's a couple of solar lights, but that's kind of it.
Two very small, just above us.
Yeah.
About this big.
You've got a sink, I noticed, that's plumbed in.
Have you not got a
luxury
sink?
Well, we might have. I can't remember. Oh, we might have a
You
sink.
just haven't been in the kitchen, have you?
No, actually, I have. I don't really. Chris has been cooking all week.
Chris has been cooking.
We do have a sink. Yes, I remember now.
Yeah. No, there is a plumbed in sink.
Very basic, isn't it?
Where it goes the other side, I should imagine that might have been responsible for the amount of water outside.
Yeah, because also you have. Jane was saying that it rained heavily one of the days, and the rain just poured in over there. It may have been out the sink into the door.
Maybe that's all it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not allowed to leave the taps on at all, and we've got different water we have to use for different things because it's so precious. I was told, I don't know if you were told this, years ago you had to not only bring your food onto the island that you needed for the week, but you had to bring your own water.
That's outrageous, isn't it?
Can you imagine carrying all that on?
It's 21st century now.
I wouldn't have done very well.
No.
Trying to carry my own stuff.
That is why they invented beer, though, isn't it? it's safe. It's not so good to wash in.
No, not so good for washing in.
But
for washing in, we have to use the water butt that's outside. That's got a little tap at the bottom. Have you had the same?
Yeah, we're the same. Well, I'll show you the bath.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And yours is over there.
Go and show them my bath.
Shall I go?
Yeah. Get my bath. Show my bath. This is why the sink is a luxury. That there is a sink and a tap. This is the bath. I think, does it actually say somehow?
I had a hell of a job sitting in mine, did you?
I am looking forward to a shower and a hair wash when I get back after a week here.
I don't know. We weren't really going to discuss washing. I've had one proper wash so far.
Okay.
And every day I'm thinking, I can't swim, but shall I go for a sea wash? But I haven't been in the sea yet because it's been too cold.
No, it's been too cold. The water's still too cold. I mean, Chris was mad and went in.
Yeah, a couple of hours. Yeah, a couple of people have. So I was thinking that would give you the overall rinse.
Yeah. If it was slightly further into the season, I would have just brought stuff with me and just gone in the sea.
Go down the sea,
and that would have done it.
Do you not end up salty though?
Yeah.
I suppose that's like a salt rub then, isn't it? It's quite a body shop, isn't it?
I've been having the same thought this week. You know, how often is it okay to be doing some sort of washing, bathing?
Yeah.
And then I realised we're all in the same boat. Forgive the pun.
Yeah.
And so actually, maybe we just all stink anyway.
I wasn't really, and then I reached day 3 and I was sitting in our place and I was thinking, I can smell me now. This isn't good. I'm gonna have to.
You can smell
gonna have
yourself,
to go for it. Yeah.
It's gone past the point, hasn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, that's all deep and meaning. Well, it is actually very human.
But yeah, they have chaplains on the island every single week.
Back to the plot.
And this is the chaplain's accommodation that we're sat in at the moment.
I could live here with a few alterations.
Yeah.
Heating and deep slug defences and things.
Slug defences and slow worm defences.
Yeah. But it's lovely.
It's a really nice space, and on the upside, this is quite a small, compact space. It's called Clothed Carreg. So it's sort of along the style of Welsh abodes from years ago, where you have, like, you probably can't see, but this is the beginning of the stairs, and there's a little set of stairs in the middle of the living space that just go up to the sleeping area.
So people would have lived. This is a I thought this might have been a shed. They would have lived here.
It would have been originally, I think, but there's quite a lot you can buy now on the market where they call it a crog loft, I think is the right terminology. So that's a little bit like a crog loft,
right?
Apart from very posh staircase, to be fair.
Nice.
A crog loft can sometimes just be nothing that looks a little bit more than a ladder to your bedroom. Because
I know that I think in the past the animals used to be underneath, and that was the heating, wasn't it? You'd be in the same
and then
dwelling, So that would be.
But because it's quite compact, once that heater's on, it does warm up nicely, to be fair. And if the doors were probably a bit more weathertight.
Bit of insulation. I mean, that door's shut, but you can see
the gas.
There's light coming in from where normally a door is solid, isn't it?
Yes,
absolutely. That's not a window, that massive crack.
That gap, you can put your hands through that gap, you can. But it is on the list, I believe, for the property team to do, I think it's one person, to be fair, and the wardens.
I suspect that's quite a long list, isn't it?
It's a bit like the Forth Bridge, these properties, because they're beautiful, and it has been really lovely. I don't know if you found the same. Really lovely staying in here. And so peaceful.
And the light, just the light coming in there is lovely.
Yeah. I mean that is the only light. I know you guys can't see this, but the only light that is into here is from one of the doors coming in to the cloft. And there's a window, a little square window in the top of the door, and that's the light that comes in. Apart from, I don't know what these little things are called.
They're like arrow slits, aren't they?
They do have names, these. Yeah, like little tiny. They used to have them in churches, so that people that weren't allowed inside could peer in. If you look in churches, they're often angled towards the front.
There's one near us, which is for a leper's window.
Yes, and so they could.
St Giles, if you.
So they're a little bit like little lepers.
It seems the antithesis of the gospel, doesn't it? You can have a look from a distance. In this equipment, put your nose against the glass, and see what you could have won.
Yeah.
Something
so
is
really,
not right.
maybe you should be filming from outside looking down.
That'd be quite artistic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So tell us about being a Pilgrim Priest, because you've only just started, haven't you? And you've ended up here, sort of in exile or on pilgrimage, ironically.
Yes.
So this is a new post and just started, and it's based at Aberdaron.
Which sounds lovely, Aberdaron.
It is lovely.
And it's an amazing place.
I thought that is a good place.
And
to
then I realised Aber, don't hold me to this, I think Aber just means mouth of the river.
Right.
So Aberdaron, which is a beautiful place.
I highly recommend it.
And a really thin place, is sort of the mouth of the river Darren, which made me laugh a bit.
Darren's,
But
but it's
sound quite as nice.
It's a beautiful kind of marking point, because that was a pilgrimage point, wasn't it? One of those marker places.
Yeah, so medieval times, pilgrims used to, just thousands and thousands of pilgrims used to try and make their way here to Bardsey.
I find that weird, because was it
You've
Welsh?
decided where they all are, though, haven't you?
Well, yes. Apparently, there's 20,000 remains of 20,000 pilgrims here, and you think there's not enough land. It's a tiny island, but there is a big mound at the back, which I'll show you. And I'm wondering whether it's just a lot of turf. I don't know. But was it Welsh pilgrims or pilgrims from across?
I think
what is the UK
pilgrims from a long distance used to travel towards Bardsey, and there was a whole sense that if you died on Bardsey, that was a really, really good thing spiritually, and you would definitely be safe. You'd be saved, and everything would be fine for you.
Basically, it's a ticket to heaven.
It's a ticket to heaven.
I'm not sure that where that is in the.
I haven't found that in in the scriptures yet. I'll let you know if I find it.
Worth knowing.
Even if you manage to get on a boat to come out to here, I don't think Colin's been going quite that long. If you got on a boat out to here, apparently I've read somewhere that even if you were on the boat on your way here, that was as good as, because they then brought you across. And you would be able to die here. It
is fascinating. The whole partly it's fascinating, just the logistics of it. How did you communicate that? Even like 2 centuries ago, but this was even deeper back. How do people find out that's where I've got to go, and where the hell is it, and how do I,
How do you get there?
It's just a strain. It's such a logistical complication for. But like you say, thousands of people came in.
Yeah, and that faith to just travel.
Yeah.
Not knowing, I mean, there would have been a lot of word of mouth, obviously, but not knowing where to stop, where there may have been accommodation, refreshment.
But there were groups. There was the medieval equivalent of a coach party, wasn't it? There were groups that would travel.
I'm not entirely sure, and I suspect
a
lot would have been
because you had medallions
not
and
on
stuff.
Your own.
Is that right?
Yeah, but there would have been some that would have always, right through the years, have been people that would have just travelled on their own, and they'd have made their way across to the Llyn Peninsula, which is, for those of you that aren't familiar with Wales, the very top long peninsula at the north of Wales, and I'm told that it was counted, the pilgrimage was more counted once they started at a place called Clynogfawr, which is on the north coast. And the North Wales Pilgrims Way, which you might have seen on the BBC programmes, goes through Clynogfawr, and they actually stopped on the BBC programme and chatted to a lovely lady who I met last week called Rosie, who looks after a group of the churches along that chunk of the route. And they would have travelled along, got to Aberdaron with the hope of getting out to here to Bardsey.
So was this